Hi, guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to The Edward. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I'll be doing my spoiler-filled film review for the latest Marvel film to grace us, Spider-Man Far From Home, which opened earlier today in theaters all over the country. I just got back from watching it, and I got a lot to say. Now, before I go on and I keep talking too long, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled film review. If you have not seen Spider-Man Far From Home or Avengers Endgame, do not keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be making frequent references to huge spoilers, character details, and all that jazz from both films, but mostly this one, Spider-Man Far From Home. So again, if you have not seen it and you would like to, do not keep watching or listening, because there's a lot of juicy stuff that I'm about to spill. Okay, so this is your spoiler warning. You have been warned. Let's jump into it. I really liked it. I thought it was very enjoyable. Jacob Balatran, who plays Ned, is always a delight for me. He was hilarious in Homecoming, and as brief as his role was in Infinity War, he was great. And then we just got to see so much more of him in this film. I thought it was hysterical how he and this girl in his class formed a brief relationship on their European trip together. God, it was funny. Parts of it were a bit unbelievable for me, at least, but overall it was hysterical and just an unexpected comedic side gag that was going on as they kept calling each other, "Hey, babe, yeah, babe," and, shit like that. That was pretty funny. Overall, very funny movie. There were lots of laugh-out-loud moments throughout, and I really thought was cool. I was a little bummed by the fact that Mysterio or Quentin Beck was not from another dimension, but I suspected as much that he wouldn't be, because I knew there was a very good possibility that he was lying about being from another Earth or from another reality, and he was just using that as a story to hide his true intentions, which was then made very obvious. Because I thought to myself, okay, so they quickly defeated the elementals, so what's the rest of this movie going to be about? Oh, okay, he wants to be the next Iron Man, and he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. All right, that makes sense. And what I thought was fascinating to me is that the relationship from that point in the film to the very end, up until their final confrontation, the relationship between Spider-Man and Mysterio was very reminiscent, to me at least. It was very familiar to the Superman Lex Luthor relationship, where you've got a scornful, ingenious madman business type kind of guy who's using up-to-date technology and weapons to cause damage and wreak mayhem and whatnot, and then he's put into direct conflict with a super being who's of pure heart and with a good conscience and tries to stop him. And I'm like, oh, that's what this relationship reminds me of. And I really liked that aspect of it. I liked the fact that our villain, was using illusion technology to give off the impression he was a super-powered being as well. But really, he was just a guy with a bunch of fancy tech and a bunch of ex-Angry Stark employees, and he was just putting on a ruse the whole time. It was just basically businessman versus superhero. But I really liked that aspect of it. I also enjoyed the fact that Spider-Man tapped into his true potential or his true power, which they kept hilariously referring to as the Peter Tingle, which is known to the fans as the Spider Sense, and that's what he was able to use to ultimately defeat Mysterio and put a stop to him once and for all. So overall, very fun movie. I really liked it. I was a little bummed out with the fact that we did not get a direct confirmation that other dimensions or realities exist outside of the MCU. That's not to say that won't happen. It just didn't occur in this particular film. And the only reason I bring that up is because with the success of last year's Venom and then the obviously success of this movie, the potential for a crossover where Tom Holland's Spider-Man meets Tom Hardy's Venom seems very likely. If not a ways off, it seems highly likely. And so any and all teases, whether or not they're confirmed, we'll take them. We'll eat it up like candy. So I was a little bummed about that, but there were other things throughout the film that I really enjoyed. Like, I was not expecting an awesome, hilarious, unexpected cameo from J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. They brought him back as that role. That's incredible. Oh, I hope they bring him back to the MCU. I hope that he comes back in the third Spider-Man film and he's got a bigger role, and then he's in other films beyond the third Spider-Man film, because I feel like that would just be such an awesome addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I also thought it was pretty cool how Nick Fury had reconnected his relationship with the Skrulls. Why he had Talos and the female there to pose as Hill and himself with Peter and Mysterio is beyond me. But I did think it was kind of cool that he had maintained a positive relationship for the most part with the Skrulls. Why he was on their ship and why he was among them where they were is beyond me. Perhaps that's a glimpse at a yet-to-be-confirmed Captain Marvel sequel. Who knows? But I very much enjoyed that post-credit scene. But, God, that mid-credit scene after he's flying through the city and then that news story is just blasted in Times Square, not only revealing Peter Parker's identity, but J. Jonah Jameson as an Alex Jones-type internet persona blaming Spider-Man for everything was hysterical and awesome. Overall, great movie. Really enjoyed it. I'll probably see it at least one more time on the big screen. I hope you guys liked it too. What did you think of the movie? Did you like it, hate it, love it? Were you expecting more, expecting less? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions and your feedback down below the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. Spider-Man Far From Home is now playing in theaters nationwide. Have a wonderful rest of your week if I don't see you. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.